Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna to everyone. Welcome to our program today, and thank you for coming. Make this program possible to maybe we can close it. And topic today has been known like managing the senses, or how to control, how to manage our senses. Is it okay?
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, so let's explore this topic. And this is actually a big story, a long story, and it's like huge subject. Don't expect from me that I give you some secret code or some password, like for Wi-Fi zone, Gauranga 108 or Govinda 64. You click on it, you type in, click on it, and you stay connected. Bingo, you got it. Maybe not like that. It's a little bit more deeper, and it's actually a historical question. It's been asked by four Kumaras at the beginning of creation, at the dawn of creation. They asked Lord Brahma how we can withdraw our senses from the object of the senses. And Lord Brahma, he been bewildered. He just been embarrassed. He didn't know what to say. It's quite wise question. And let's explore it from different perspectives. So first of all, I just would like to ask you, do we need actually, whether we should control or not senses? How do you think? Whether we should control, or maybe we can just go with the flow, be natural, like modern people saying. Just be natural. If you feel good, you do it. Enjoy life. Whatever comes, you just experience something, through your senses. Get experience, and then this is the life. How do you think? Is it good? Is it proper attitude? Or does it work for everyone?
I think maybe at the beginning you go, right, okay, maybe that's part of existence that you want to experience everything.
Just step on a rake.
Yeah, and then
Hits you.
I think eventually you come to your senses of realizing that with all these things, like Maya, whatever it is, that I have to really look at what is real and what's not real in terms of short-lived pleasures, short-lived.
Does it reel your sense experience when you try to experience world through the senses? We know there are four defects of conditioned souls. First one is our senses are imperfect. So does it work? So what you experience is actually it's a real thing.
I take it like
it's very conditioned.
Like dreaming. Sometimes it feels real, but then I don't know what real is anymore.
Okay. Somebody said, this modern age, it's like age of uncontrolled senses and controlled missiles. Have you heard about that? So can you imagine people, those who do not control their senses, they get this controlled missiles. What's going to happen with this world? So we live in a situation where there is no control senses, but very modern, very advanced technologies are there. So anyway, yes, we must control our senses, because human life is meant for responsibility, Prabhupada said. And the yoga, purpose of yoga is to control senses and mind. So human life begins from the sense control. animalistic life, there is no sense control. You can just live like that. Whatever comes, you experience, you just smell, you hear, you taste, you touch, you know. This kind of happiness is called Indriya Samyoga, when your senses come in contact with the object of the senses. You know, the object of the senses around us, like good smell or beautiful sound or beautiful forms, rupa gandha, rasa means taste, sound, shabda, 5 senses, 5 objects of the senses. And we experience these senses, these objects around us. And this happiness is called Samyoga, Indriya Samyoga. And at the beginning, it's like a nectar, but at the end, it's like a poison, right? So you try to enjoy life, and maybe you feel good at the beginning. You feel nectar, amrita, but then poison comes. Reactions, suffering, miseries, all these things. And Bhagavad Gita says that all these objects, sense objects, they're actually source of miseries in disguise. Yehi sansparsha jambugi dukhayone evate adiantav kauntriya nateshlamate budhaya. Wise man does not delight in them because he understands the nature of these sense objects. They're like nectar at the beginning, and they look like sense objects, but then you can realize after a while, if you introspective man, you can see all these objects are like source of miseries. Dukhayona evate. Dukhayona. So, whole purpose of yoga to control the senses. Chitta vritti nirodha. And one of the stages of yoga is called pratyahara, means withdrawal senses from the object. So we understand we must control our senses. This is human life. So we're responsible for that. Otherwise we're going to get troubles. And okay, let's discuss how we're going to control the senses. What's the different ways how to approach to this? And many different systems. Okay, Ben?
Start chanting Hare Krishna and get a higher taste.
Get higher taste, right. So this final decision actually. Let's start with a gradual approach. So many different ways how to control senses. Many different teachings and yoga books proposing to different ways how to control, right? Maybe we can try just overpower our senses, just, like squeeze them or suppress or whatever, just control over, just squeeze them, like Bhagavad Gita says that senses are low in nature, then mind is higher, intelligence even more higher, and on the top is the soul, spirit soul, right? Spirit soul, we are souls, we are personalities. So why we just, control, suppress, put down, subdue the senses, right? Is it correct? Can we try, is anybody has any experience just to try to mechanically control our senses?
I tried, and then every time I try, I get more challenge. The senses want to fight even more.
Oh, okay. Senses become more stronger.
More
They just
strong. So it's
push you in another direction,
Yeah, so you can't
another
constantly
extreme.
battling between fighting and not fighting. But then sometimes you think, if I don't think about it and not fight it, maybe it's an easier way to blank it. So it's kind of...
So fight means if try to subdue and fight, they fight back,
Yeah.
and maybe they're more powerful than you,
Yeah.
right? Or neglect, just neglect. So we're going to get trouble in both situations, right?
Engage them in other ways.
In other activities, right? Just engage them. This is a good word, engage. Not control or suppress or subdue, but engage. So many different yoga systems, they explain that maybe you can get higher power, higher souls, because we can fight. Then we can get higher, get empowered from above. Like for example, maybe we can do austerities, like do yoga postures or breathing exercise or fast, kind of tapasya, control senses, withdraw senses from the objects, try to stay away from the objects, and also our senses become weaker because there is no power, it doesn't go through and senses become weaker, right? Is anybody tried that? Like fast, less sleep, less eat, more meditate, control, whatever, do yoga postures, like.
So you might stop it, but then your mind is still meditating on it, maybe.
Still mind goes to the sense, to the objects,
And once
right?
you control it, but you're still thinking about it, meditating on it.
So that means this is mechanical, right?
Mm.
Mechanically you try to withdraw your senses, but still your mind going to the objects. Still your sense, your contact with the senses, with the objects is still going in the mind. You see, on a subtle level, right? Okay, there is another way. Maybe we can try to change our concept, our consciousness, by understanding the spiritual knowledge that we are not these bodies, we are not senses, we are spirit souls, we are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, we are spirit souls. We don't have anything with these senses. Why we should feed them, right? Why we should listen what our mind says to us, right? And by the way, Bhagavad Gita explained that our life is like a struggle for existence. It's always big struggle with the senses. Prakriti sthani karshati. And one of them is the mind, sixth sense. Manah sanstani dreni prakriti sthani karshati. Mind is a sixth sense. And with the mind is a big story. It's a big time. Right? To control the mind is like, ooh, I think anyone has experience. So Krishna, also Arjuna said in Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalam himana Krishna pramadhi balavadridha tasyaham himana sayuravashi dushkara. He said, mind is stubborn, very strong, obstinate, flickering, chanchala. And try to control mind is like try to stop the wind by the hands. Right? So it's a big challenge. So how are we going to deal with it? With this higher, this superpower, mind, senses. And sometimes, there is a picture on the Bhagavad Gita when you see a person try to drive the chariot where there are 5 wild horses going in different directions. They're very strong. This person, he cannot handle it. And passenger sitting in the chariot, he became like afraid and completely horrified by this journey. It's a very wild kind of race. So this is a life with uncontrolled senses, right? Even much worse than controlled missiles. Okay, so if we try to make our minds that we're not this body, we're not the senses, we are higher spirit beings, we are Brahman, we do not have anything with these kind of things. And also if we study all these objects which we try to meditate on, like our mind goes to, right? Like for example, beautiful forms, opposite sex, right? All these things. So we try to study them through the Sankhya Yoga. It's called Sankhya Yoga. We try to analyze what this consists of, this material body. Okay? As everyone knows it. Blood, pus, stool, urine. What else? Boil, bile,
Hair.
bile,
Hair.
hair, yeah,
Skin.
mucus, skin, muscles. So unpleasant things, and maybe in decomposed kind of stage, not really, fresh, a little bit decomposed, because matter is like, like falling apart. Anyway, so we try to analyze our object of the senses, and also we try to understand we're not these bodies, we're not the senses, we're higher nature. Aparayas itam tvanyam prakriti vidhyam param, Krishna said. So does it work? This intellectual approach. Sometimes maybe, yeah. Sometimes. Jnana yoga. Maybe, but not all the time, right? Because desire in the heart, it's called bija or kama bija, is more stronger. Maybe we can understand this world and our position that we are originally we're spirit souls. But anyway, so kama is more stronger, it pushes us towards the object of the senses. It forcibly pushes us. We try to control that. You see, intellectual approach is not always. Maybe it makes us sober a little bit, but still, desire is there and pushes us. Vachu vegam, manasukotha vegam, jihva vegam, udrapascha vegam. All these vegas urges, mind, anger, lust, tongue, belly, genital, speech, whatever, push us towards. Do you agree? Yeah? Any proposals? How are we going to do this? How are we going to manage our senses? Because this our senses, you see, we have these senses. Knowledge acquiring senses and working senses. Eyes, ears, tongue, mind. Mind is the main sense. It's most troublesome. So now we stand with the dilemma. How are we going to control these powerful wild horses which are going in the wrong direction?
Pray to Krishna.
Pray to Krishna.
Pray for help.
You see, this is right attitude, actually. Yeah, we have to understand. Finally, by trying different things in our life, we maybe come to the point that divine knowledge or yoga books, like for example Bhagavad Gita or Bhakti Shastra, say that actually this is not our senses. This is not our energy, our power. We don't have the control over. We cannot control it. And these words like terms like controlling or surpassing, overpowering or subdue, it maybe not work for situation. But best word is like Ben said, engage. Not control over, but engage. This is a good word. This is not our thing, it's given to us. To engage, this is a good approach. And engage to whom? To the higher object of our senses, to the master of the senses. Who is it?
Krishna Govinda.
Yes, his name Govinda or Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha means master of the senses, literally. So Hrishikas means senses, Hrishikesha, Isha means controller, master of the Hrishikas senses. So he is a sense controller, not we are. We are not in a position. So, and if we engage our senses in service to the higher object, which is Krishna himself, so this is the process. Engaging senses in a service. And it's called devotional service. And actually, what is devotional service? This is exactly the definition of devotional service. Krita sadhya bhavet sadhya, sadhya cha bhav sadhana bida, nityo siddhasya bhavasya, prakatyam hridi sadhyatma. Devotional service means engaging senses in service to Krishna. We don't control. We're not controlling. We just take them and engage. Yes? We walk by our foot we walk into the temple. By our hands, we sweep on the floor in the temple. Or chanting, by touching to the beats. By our eyes, we look at the forms of the Krishna's vigraha. By ears, we're hearing transcendental message, right? By our nose, we're smelling the beautiful smell of the incense and flowers. Mana Krishna Padaravindayo. And so on. So Maharaj Ambarish, he engaged all the senses in service to Krishna. And this is perfection of life. Just engage our senses. These senses are meant for the objects. It's like a bolt and nut. When you come and try to withdraw bolt from nut, it's like natural attraction between them. Natural magnetism, attraction. You cannot, because who connected them? Bhakta Karta is called Parivrita. So Krishna himself, he connected senses with the object. And you can't disconnect them like this forcibly. You can't. So you have to redirect, reform, transform, or engage. The better word is engage. So you engage your senses in Krishna's service. And you see, you don't need any higher qualification to engage senses. This is very natural. You walk towards sense object. You just walk to the temple, right? You do something in your job. You just do something for Krishna. Engage your working and knowledge acquiring senses. It's very natural. It's very natural. Smell, hear, touch, behold, eat. It's a beautiful process. Hrishikesha Sevanam. Sevanam means service. When we serve, Hrishikesha, Isha, master of the senses, our senses Hrishikas, naturally connected to Krishna, and they become satisfied, pacified. And there are two effects. Our senses get purified, and also we get rid of different misconceptions about ourselves. It's called upadhis, and false ideas about ourselves, like we are these bodies, we are whoever, Indians, Americans, Ukrainian, Russians, beautiful, ugly, intelligent fools, whatever. So we are eternal servants of Krishna. We get rid of these different misconceptions by engaging our senses and mind in service to Krishna. This is purifying effect. This is a side effect, actually, of devotional service. It's like a byproduct. It comes naturally. It's not the goal of devotional service, but it's like just byproduct. So we serve Krishna. Sarva upadhi vinir muktam tat paratvena nirmalam. That means engaging our senses. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Bhaktir Uchyate means we are doing devotional service to Krishna. And not just bhakti. Bhakti means, Prabhupada translated bhakti like devotional service. Not just service, because service you can do even not for Krishna, for somebody else. And not devotion, right? But devotional service means service with attachment. You have to be attached. You have to attach your senses to Krishna. As much we attach to Krishna, to that much we detach from matter, from the sense objects. We attach to Krishna, we detach from matter. This is similar, it's parallel way, parallel process. What is called? Attachment to Krishna, detachment from matter. Anartha nivriti, artha pravriti, right? Acquiring good things and also get rid of anarthas, which are unwanted, undesirable things. So service with detachment to matter and attachment to Krishna. This means loving devotional service. Hrishikena, Hrishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti, Ruchate. So we're not in control, we have to give our senses to Krishna. And with attachment to serving him, and in due course of time, it becomes natural, because this service, our natural feelings will manifest from the heart. It is saying, Nityo Siddhasya Bhavasya Prakatyam Hridi Satyatma. Hridi from the heart, Prakatya means manifest, our feeling. Feeling means Bhava. Bhava means taste, higher taste. So higher taste, our power, lower taste. So lower taste, our sense enjoyment, our material life, what we're doing, like chasing after the object of the senses, where we're suffering. That's why we're here. This is one more proof that it didn't work, so we came here. And that's why we want to get higher taste and engage our senses in Krishna's service. And in this way we can manage our senses, because Krishna will manage, supreme management. Raso varjam raso pesyam param drishtam nivartate. So this higher principle. Through the higher taste we can get over our lower urges and kind of lower desires and kama. So kama transform into prema, right? Attachment to matter transform into attachment to Krishna. We cannot stay detached from anything. We cannot stay in the middle of nowhere. We have to be detached, attached to something. This is a symptom of love, to be attached. If you love somebody, you cannot be detached from it, right? So this is transformation. That's how it goes. And this is very scientific and very gradual, systematic process. This is called devotional service. So that's why we are here. We try to manage our senses, and with Krishna's help. And so, anyway, so by the Krishna's grace, somehow we're moving forward, right? That's called devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Since we're talking about the senses through Krishna, how do you deal with bereavement?
What?
So, bereavement, you know, when somebody dies that you love, and there's a sense of loss, other things. So
Separation.
Separation through natural causes, right? In terms of bereavement, to deal with the sense of loss. In terms of that, how would you deal?
So if you lose something, like loss, money, health, relationships, parents or relatives, it's a great separation, grief and sorrow. You know, we experience like how to deal with it. We have to understand the futility and temporariness of material life. We have to understand that we have to approach it philosophically at this point. This is not our eternal life, this is temporary, this is preparation for our real life, right? And even a blade of grass doesn't move without Krishna. So this is Krishna's plan, how to purify us and elevate to the higher platform of existence. And if we lose something, that means we're going to get something more valuable. And there is no emptiness in the kingdom of God. If you lost something, you're going to get something more valuable and higher. You should not be overly attached to that and just, like get into grief and sorrow. And again, by engaging in something more higher, like devotional service, like understanding the higher person, and understand that your real family is not this biological family which is temporary and related to your body, which is also a temporary machine and it's going to die or decompose sooner or later. So this attachment, it's like a vicious attachment, you see. It makes you suffer. So therefore, we have to redirect our attachment to the real eternal objects like devotees, devotional relationships, spiritual master, our real family, which is Krishna family. Krishna family is called Achyuta Gotra. This is our eternal family. We're actually part of this family. And actually all living entities are part of this family. Everyone, even immovable living entities, they're also part of this extended eternal family. But maybe they don't know yet, they are not awakened, but you already know. So you have to be aware, and this temporary loss and gain, it's just dualities of material life. Matras prashastu kantaya shitoshna shukadukishu. So up and down, ups and downs, gain and loss, glory or dishonor. This is dualities of material life. So this is preparation to real life, to eternal life. All this kind of things are just, just tests for you how to come through and attain supreme destination. So you have to be prepared. This is life, and everyone goes through. But you go in with the knowledge, with the philosophical understanding, and also with the higher taste, and with, let's say, with the support of Krishna and his representatives, devotees. So you be supported by them, and you can pass through this life experience with much more easy than anyone else. You see, in a sober way, and yeah, that's how we can deal with it. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
You said earlier, you were saying about our true real identity as spirit, soul, and sense to Krishna, and you said also
Brahman.
Brahman, yeah. What does that mean?
Brahman.
Being Brahman, yeah, what does that mean?
Sarvakaladam. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham means I am. Brahmasmi means I am spirit. Brahma means spirit.
Brahman means spirit.
Spirit, yeah. Spirit, this is spirit, this is Sanskrit.
Okay.
So I am Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am spirit, I am spirit soul.
So Brahman is the same as Atma, the word, or is it something?
Atma means soul, Brahma means spirit, let's say like this.
The soul and spirit are the same? Spirit is the soul, soul is the spirit.
Spirit consists of many souls, actually, like Brahma Jyoti. This is Brahman effulgence, or spiritual effulgence, consists of many souls. Soul is like it's a little spark. It's like atomic particle, which is like size of the atom, literally. 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. Literally, this is size of the atom. This is spiritual atom. This is you, by the way. This is actually every one of us. This is our size. And spirit, Brahman, it's like unlimited, infinite effulgence, which consists of this many different sparks. Like, sunlight. Sunlight is where is a light, rays, and also particle of light. These particles, if you take this analogy, souls, and also this effulgence, it's like a spirit, consists of the souls, many souls. They're floating in this unlimited Brahman. So we are spirit. You can say this is same and different at the same time, like achintya bheda bheda. So
when Prabhupada said spirit, soul, we are spirit, soul.
yeah.
That means we are both the soul and the spirit.
Yes, you can say like this. And your spirit soul means your soul emanates some consciousness. And consciousness means energy of the soul, which comes from the soul. Like light and heat comes from the sun. And through this consciousness, through this energy, you can understand, you can aware, or you can realize the reality, and you can realize that I'm existing and everything exists around me. This is your self-awareness, conscious energy. Yeah. I mean, it's very subtle. So Brahman and Atma, yeah, that's good. I mean, we are Atma, but we also we Brahman. We are part of this Brahman. And actually everything is Brahman. Sarva kalmita idam Brahman. Everything is Brahman. It means there is different levels of Brahman. Like this is Brahman. It's called Prakrita Brahman. It's also Brahman. Because it's rest upon Brahman, upon this unlimited effulgence. Then individual Brahman. This is Atma, individual Brahman. Then Para Brahman. It's Krishna, Paramatma, Atma and Paramatma. Para Brahman, individual Brahman, Prakrita Brahman, Saguna Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. Right? Everything is Brahman actually, but different kinds of Brahman. Everything is spirit, original. But some part of the Brahman is covered by Prakrita, by material energy, by material elements. And it appears like this inert Brahman, but still it's Brahman, but it's covered. It's covering. I mean, it's a little bit complicated philosophy, but anyway. So Shankaracharya, he tried to speculate on this platform, and he created his own philosophy. He said that everything is Brahman, and ultimately there is nothing. There is void, nothingness, just Brahman, just effulgence. This is ultimate conclusion and destination. So he speculated on that, right? But he did not mention that there is Supreme Brahman or Para Brahman, which is essential Supreme Living Being, who is a God himself, surrounded by his eternal associates, those who are his associates, also Brahman, individual Brahmans, living entities. Yeah.
Is that where the philosophy of the duality or singularity comes in, between we are part of Brahman, but at the same time there's a clear singularity between us and Krishna. There's a difference, so the duality.
Yeah, difference and oneness as well.
Yeah. So is that, so the duality, I mean, I'm guessing that is when you really higher up your spiritual ladder, is when you realize the duality. Up until then, we all see as we're part of Krishna, we're part of everything.
Yeah. If we surpass this dualistic perspective, this dualistic kind of consciousness which we are now stuck, so we'll see Krishna everywhere. Krishna is everywhere actually. Nothing, just Krishna and his energies. And this is oneness. But now we see everything is like separate, and all these objects are like without any connection with each other. They're just doing different things and like hanging around in space, beginning with the small things, and if you go to the big cosmic objects, floating, everything without any purpose, connection, and like any one. So that's a dualistic perspective, perception. That's what material consciousness is all about. And oneness or spiritual consciousness means Krishna is everywhere. We can see Krishna behind everything connected to him. And living entities, part and parcels of Krishna. Mamaya Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Buddha Sanatana. So everyone connected to Krishna. And Krishna behind of everything, all our situation in life, all our relationships, all different personalities, whatever comes in our life, are orchestrated by Krishna. So he's behind of everything. Right? So that's a full picture, and this is oneness, that this vision through the proper, understanding. And so we have to remember this, at least. Maybe we don't have this vision, but we have to remember this theoretically, because like Krishna said in Srimad Bhagavatam, that each and every body is like a temple of Vishnu, where Vishnu resides. So we have to look at all different bodies like a abode of Vishnu, where Vishnu resides. So we see like this. All different bodies, Sarvatat Dhishnyam Ishvajyam. So all different bodies are just the temples of Lord Vishnu. So he resides everywhere. His name Vasudeva. Vasu means reside, Deva means God. He resides everywhere. Vasudev, right? And in each atom, in each material object, in each body, movable and immovable, he is everywhere. All pervasive aspect. He pervades everything in this particular form. That's a proper vision. And material vision, that means I'm in the center and all these things belongs to me, or I can use them for my sense pleasure, and everything is like, there is no purpose, no Ishvara, controller behind, no foundation of this world, and everything moves by sexual, or let's say sensual, or desire to enjoy. That's a philosophy of actually Asuras, that Krishna explained in the 16th chapter. He said, Asatyam apratishtham te aham ahur anishvara asambhutavas parasparam kimanya kama ahaidukam. Kama ahaidukam means unmotivated kama. Kama means sensual desire. So I want to enjoy. I want to get something. So this is what moves. What moves by this world? This sense desire, kama, sense gratification. And asakya means it's not real. There is no God, Ishvara, Anishvara. There is no platform, no foundation. It's like a flower in the sky. There is no purpose behind. So that's a demonic philosophy. You see, and this is vision, dualistic vision, materialistic vision. We don't see Krishna, right? Yeah. And Bhagavatam gives us right perspective. So Krishna is God, He is behind everything, He is everywhere. He in control, and we part and parcels of Krishna. So by seeing that, by having proper vision, we can move in right direction, and we can serve, we can use this energy for Krishna's service. And finally, we're never trapped into material dualistic perspective. So we have to make this shift, from duality to the oneness. This is our practice is all about, how to make this shift.
Yeah, I guess with your metaphor about flower floating in the sky, and if there is no connection, there is no love. So
Yeah.
there is, you need to have that connection to see everything through love.
Yeah. I didn't mention love, but actually this is like a cement. Cement. That's the right word?
Cement, yeah.
Cement.
Yeah.
Where all the what is the word? Bricks. All the bricks of material creation, all the elements come together. This is a cement. Then if you glue up everything and through that you can get right perception.
Cement is the love.
It's the love, yeah.
Love.
It is the love. Because if you just look at philosophically, like, through the eyes of knowledge, maybe it's good, but if there is no love, first of all, you cannot see God without love. Because when you have love, you have attraction. And when you attached to, then only God can reveal himself. Otherwise, without love, without love there is exploitation. If there is no love, you exploit. When you love, that means you serve. Love is selfless, unmotivated. So through the love, only love. But there is no love, just knowledge. Knowledge also can be exploitative. It's not loving kind of. Love is a cement, yeah. It's a good, yeah. It's a good that you mentioned. Love is, yeah. Primanjana Churita Bhakti Viluchanena. Santak Sadaiva Hrideshru. Prima Anjana. Anjana means what's called ointment, which smear our eyes. Prema Anjana. Prema means love. Anjana means ointment. When we smear our eyes with a special ointment, which is prema love, then we'll see Krishna. There is Gyananjana also. What is the mantra? Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya. So he gave me, my spiritual master gave me the special ointment. Gyana means knowledge. And he smeared my eyes with the ointment. Then I'll see in the darkness of ignorance, I can see. But finally we need Pramanjana, just to see Krishna. That's why we try to awake our feelings to Krishna by practicing devotional service. Pramanjana, this is not knowledge. Knowledge is there, it's included. But prema is higher. When there is love, there is no need any knowledge. So, knowledge you need to get liberated from the bodily platform of life, from the duality to the oneness. But then love is higher. Love is higher purpose. Everyone wants to be loved or love somebody. All we need is love. George Harrison said. It's very correct. Yes, ma'am.
So when you started, you said that 4 Kumaras asked Brahma the question. So what did he answer?
He answered in the same way. You can read it in the 11th canto. He didn't answer actually, but Krishna himself descended in the form of Hamsa, or transcendental swan. He descended, he gave philosophy, he explained this knowledge. Just to save Brahma, he descended. Because it's a very clever question, it's difficult to. And he said, all the objects of the senses are not separated objects, but they extended Krishna's senses. You have to extend your perception not to the object, but further to Krishna, because they manifested from Krishna. All these objects are secondary forms of Krishna. All this material, let's say, different. Because who created all these things? So Krishna, he manifested matter. Then he entered into this matter and he manifested all these different forms. Where there is a form, that means there is some life or spirit or Atma or Supreme Atma, Paramatma. Where there is no form, that means there is no life. Where there is a form, there is a higher purpose, higher force or spirit or Supreme Lord. So in each form there is Paramatma. In each object there is Krishna. That means all these sense objects are not just separate, but they different forms of Krishna. and you can engage your senses in the service to Krishna. You can engage all these different objects to Krishna's service by using them, because this is energy of Krishna and can be used to the source. So there is energy, there is energetic source. You can use this energy towards the source. It's a difficult philosophy, but it's complicated. I mean, but somehow rather. Something like that, you can read about it in the 11th canto. So we try to explain this also. I mean, we can explain it in a complicated way or in a simple way. You know, Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple, but difficult for the difficulties. You can say like this. Different ways.
When you said Krishna came down in the form of Hamsa,
Hamsa.
the transcendental swan,
Hmm.
is that still the swan that
Yeah.
Brahmaji rides today? Brahmaji rides the swan, right? Oh, is it?
Brahmaji?
Yeah.
Yeah. He lives on Satyaloka, on the planet of Lord Brahma.
Right.
He's still there. His name Hamsa, Hamsa Avatar. And four Kumaras, you know, the acharyas of another sampradaya.
Yeah.
It's called four Kumara sampradaya, right? Sanak sampradaya, something like that. So they worship to Hamsa Avatar. They worship. Like we worship Krishna, they worship Hamsa Avatar.
So, if one of the main ways to control our senses is to do it through Krishna, right?
Yeah, we have to redirect it. We have to live up to Krishna by engaging our senses in devotional service to Krishna.
Yeah. See, the issue I see here is that, I don't know if you agree, but most people in this world don't know about Krishna.
Yeah.
Which means 99.99% people
Yeah.
are not going to engage their
Yeah,
senses
they
in
don't
Krishna
know.
because they don't know about Krishna.
Of course.
So why would Krishna make a plan like this, where this is the only way, but most people don't know the way? Well, there's no very good plan.
It's a good plan because Krishna tried to satisfy their desires. They wanted to forget Krishna. They live in the forgetfulness of God. This is a stage of consciousness. They wanted to forget, Krishna made them to forget. They live in forgetfulness. That's what is going on. This is Kali Yuga, don't forget. Kali Yuga, special time. So Krishna arranged it for those who want to forget him. Because if somebody wants to remember, Krishna immediately makes arrangement. And we remember him. Because he is a Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishna Matach Smritir Gyanam Apochanam. Gyana, Apochana, and Smarana, Smritir. So he is a forgetfulness, knowledge, and remembrance. So you want to forget, he makes you forget. You want to remember, he makes you remember. Up to our desire. So Krishna in the heart, he what is called? Listen, radar, it's called radar, right? Radar. He just perceiving our desires, what we want. We want to forget, okay. And 99%, like you said, they forgot Krishna. They live in forgetfulness of God. Yeah. Krishna just, he allows them to have this kind of things, kind of life. So he is very merciful. He allows them to forget him and suffer. So he allows them to make their own choice. Sometimes, our parents, they don't want to make us our own choice. They just strictly, protect us or, no, only do like this, don't do like this. But Krishna allows us. Of course, he gives instructions in different ways, but he allows us to do our own choice. So that's kripa, that's mercy, right?
I guess that's why, even if people are not agreeable with you, or different, or maybe people that may harm you in some ways, you still have to see Krishna in them on the basis of, if you're enlightened, that connection with Krishna allows you to navigate. But if you forget him, everybody's killing each other.
Yeah, it's like an animalistic life.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs, they're fighting with each other. Like in Ukraine, there is a war. They're fighting like cats and dogs. No no understanding of higher plan or purpose or God is behind. They're just killing each other like cats and dogs. But if they see, if we see in everyone's heart, or we can understand Krishna as there, this is the temple of God. How are we gonna kill?
Yeah.
So it's difficult, you know. You can't do this. This is ignorance. This is animalistic life. That's what they're doing. And they create different ideas, political ideas, nationalism, Nazism, fascism, whatever, and they just fight with a kind of high ideology. So, you know, kind of destroying.
What's the difference between people in Ukraine fighting?
Huh?
What's the difference between people in Ukraine fighting and this war where the Bhagavad Gita is happening? They're both fighting.
It's a big difference. It's a big difference. This fight, which is going on now, or in any other wars and conflicts in the world, now about 46 wars and conflicts in the world going on the planet. 46. Not only in Ukraine, everywhere. Can happen here even. You think it's a peaceful place. This material world. This can happen at any time. And what's the difference? You see, they're fighting for sense gratification, for just to kill people and just get some resources or whatever, or attain some political power, or it's like for a useless piece of land which is full of mines and metal scrapyard, after all this destroying tanks and things, they're fighting all this kind of land which is, I don't know, what was they gonna do with it? Anyway, but war in Kurukshetra, it was a dharmic or religious war. It was a religious war. That war was for higher purpose, for Krishna's, according to the Krishna's order, and to establish Dharma on the planet. Dharma means religion, means will of God. So to kill those who are against demonic, to protect saints, and to establish Dharma. That was a war. So people sacrificed their life for this higher purpose, for the sake of to please Krishna and to establish religion, dharmic law, path of Dharma. And this is very high, you see. And yes, they didn't fight for sense gratification, for money, for resources, for oil, for political power. No, they did fight for religion. Religion. You agree? Is it different?
Yeah, the cause for the fight isn't what the cause is. Yeah.
You see, fight is the same. Fight. There is a fight. But which kind of fight? What's the motivation behind? It's a different consciousness behind. And this war, it's like consciousness is very high to being killed on the battlefield for the religious purpose, for the established Krishna consciousness. Kshatriyas, they used to fight for Krishna consciousness, to expand Dharma. Kings, all this kind of Kshatriyas, they, what they do? They expand Dharma. Brahmanas by words, but Kshatriyas by sword. So we preaching, we try to spread Krishna consciousness, but they're spreading Krishna consciousness, but through the war, through the sword and fire, like Christians say. Yeah.
And also, I guess, the wars come to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's if the demonics are trying to take over, or the fight is not willingly to go out there and convert people. Fight is for a high purpose,
Yeah.
to protect. rather than conquer.
Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna declared war. He started it. He said, you're not compromising anything, so war is happening now.
Yeah,
The Pandavas declared the war.
yeah.
They didn't
Yes.
go there,
No.
they declared it.
They didn't want to fight Pandavas. Arjuna didn't want
And
to
then they
fight.
declared it, right? Last resort, they declared the fight, they started the fight.
Krishna said, you go to fight. You go and fight. He said. Arjuna didn't want.
So the fight didn't come to them. Arjuna, Krishna is saying to fight.
No, the battle was going to happen.
Because it's duty.
It was due.
Yes.
There was a battle going to happen.
It's a religious war for Krishna consciousness. He said, go and fight for me. Establish my will. It's not just like Arjuna didn't want to fight. He was a compassionate guy. He didn't want to kill his relatives. He was a good person. He's a sura, or what is called divine nature. Krishna said, no, you have to. This is your work. You go and fight. This is religious war for Krishna consciousness. Okay, salute. Let's go. This is devotee, bhakta.
Do you know you hear in history of people who kill in the name of God?
Oh,
All these religious wars, they kill in the name
yeah,
of
yeah,
God. All these Muslims who slaughter all the Hindus in the name of God,
yeah,
break all the temples in the name of God.
yeah.
That's different to the Battle of Kurukshetra. Right?
Of course, yeah. What is called crusaders, yeah?
Proceedings, yeah.
Crusaders in the Middle Ages. Yeah? They went for the promised land to establish the Christianity and kill the Jews.
Like millions of people.
Yeah, probably. And Inquisition, right? Then
So
kill.
this is different to the Battle of Kurukshetra.
Yeah, because you see, all these things are under the name of religion. It's actually not religion at all, because there is no will of God to kill other people because they don't take your belief. And how to explain it? Any ideas? Is anybody?
I guess the religion is being used as politics in a way that the true religion wouldn't want you to kill for the sake of thing. It's like Krishna gives us a choice, right? It doesn't go there to convert and says you must do this. Where I guess a lot of wars are fought between they're the absolute truth, but it's hijacked by politics and other desires rather than the religious desires, I'm guessing.
What would you say were
Yes, under the name of religion. Under the name of religion, convert other people through the blood and fire and sword, convert them into their religion. Under the name of religion is violence, actually. This is heavy violence. You have any idea?
I was thinking that maybe it was like, sense gratification masked with the name of religion on top, in terms of like going out to kill people, making maybe, because if you establish, for example, like the Romans did, they went and established their name that, it's the Roman what it is, there was sense gratification of fame and glory in that sense. They were very famous in that time period in that sense, and people do it for religion, people do it for all that kind of stuff, but it's for religion, if you know what I mean, it's more like a masked thing, rather than for what Krishna said is like, I was doing all of that, but at the end of the day, you just say, I don't want to do it. It's got like, I want to do it. There's a difference in this kind of stuff. The Moksha Shaktas in that sense, one of them is like, you know what, I understand this, what the reality is, and understand this capacity of the people as well. I don't want to do this. And he was about to be fought with. And Krishna said, no, go and fight them. These people, there's like a nice plot of land, there's nothing really going on, there's very nice people, whatever. Instead of going to preach them or going to understand, what exactly are you going to do with them, what we're doing right now? I said, no, let's go. Are you going to become part of Christians? No, still, I'll kill. Finish.
Yeah.
There's a massive difference in that sense.
Okay.
let me think about, maybe I'll find some better answer for you. But it looks like the same, right? This looks like the same because Krishna said, you go and kill them, and it's also violence, right? But it's for higher purpose. But those people, they fight for their own sense gratification to convert others into their religion, and it looks the same. There is some subtle difference. So let me figure out. I'll give you an answer later, maybe better answer, because some of the people can argue on this, over this point, right? So how do we know that this is bona fide, this is not, it's like, of course we know that this is bona fide because it's Vedic Dharma, this is Krishna's word, this is Krishna's will, this is a religious war. But that one looks like religious war, but it's not really. It's just a violence, it's just sectarianism and fanaticism, because there is no platform, there is no knowledge, there is no will of God behind this. It's misinterpreted religion. Under the name of religion, being killed a lot of people, a lot of atrocities in the world, a lot of evil.
And God is not pleased with that, right?
Of course, yeah. Because first testament, first instruction is non-violence, paradharma, ahimsa paradharma. Supreme dharma means non-violence. So there is non-violence. When you want to be religious, first step in a religious life, give up violence. The 4 pillars of dharma: non-violence, ahimsa, dainya, compassion, shuchi means purity, and satya means truthfulness. So first step is in non-violence, and we stop to eat meat, even so no even animal food, or to speak, to kill somebody, in the name of God, in the name of religion. It's very evil thing, right? And this is not religious. But religion can be used. Some of the unscrupulous personalities, they use religion. They're saying, you see, they're uncivilized, they're pagans or whoever. So let us kill them or convert them by the sword and fire. Let's do this. They use the religion just, to reach their own materialistic agenda. Right? Kshatriyas, they did the same, actually. They did the same, but under the name of real religion. Real knowledge, real religion. And they did not get anything from those people. Where the Vedic Empire was established, Vedic Empire, in the capital was in Hastinapur, Delhi, present Delhi. Hastinapur. It was empire around whole planet Earth and even further expanded. You know that? And capital was in Hastinapur, and all different, let's say, subordinates. They used to bring some taxes, And for example, Maharaj Parikshit or Yudhishthira Pandavas, they used to go and fight against. And they come. It's called horse sacrifice. They came to some land and they're saying, so you submit to me or we're gonna fight. And if king submitted, they protected even. They not kill them, they protected them. And they don't take tax from them. Even you just give 1 pound, that's it. 1 pound, that's enough, it's like a sign of surrender. You have to surrender, right? And they don't kill anybody. But then, if you don't surrender, if you want to, establish your own, so then we come in to the certain place and fight only soldiers, not any civilian people like now they kill they shooting what is called missiles into the shopping center, into the hospitals, it's madness. So they come into certain place, Kshatriyas, according to the codes of moral codes of kshatriya, and they're fighting very strict rules. They're fighting, and then is anybody get win? So his enemy surrender to him. Has to surrender. That's what it's like. Very, like it's very moral wars. It's a religious war, sacred war.
As in, what do you mean by surrender? Surrender to them, to the kshatriyas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever been defeated has to surrender, right? So these emperors, they were very noble kshatriyas, noble, not like, kind of bloody, cruel, like nowadays showing in the action, that kind of thing. No, they're very noble personalities.
So the Battle of Kurukshetra was actually directly instructed from Krishna's word. So
Yeah, Krishna said,
these other battles, they're not based on.
Krishna wanted to annihilate those guys. And that's why Krishna descended millennium after millennium. He said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkitam dharma samsthapanarthaya svabhamami yuge yuge. Yuge yuge means millennium after millennium. He descends for 3 purposes. Protect saints, annihilate miscreants.
Sorry?
Annihilate miscreants, demoniac. All these different rascals and atheists or asuras. Krishna descends to kill them, actually. And somebody can say, oh, Krishna is cruel God, what is that? So this is also violence. But this is a higher benefit for anyone. Because whether Krishna kill you or kiss you, result is the same. You're going back home, back to God. Being killed by Krishna, this is great benefit, So you've been liberated immediately from the circle of repeated birth and death. So Krishna, by killing them, he released them from the circle, of vicious circle. He liberated them by killing. It's not a ordinary materialistic killing.
So I guess it's like an element of cancer. Yeah? You have to cut it before it overtakes, spread everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess
this is the duty of kshatriya.
yeah.
Kshatriya has to protect others from the atheistic tendencies, adharmic influence. That's why he established Dharma, he expanded Dharma, and he controlled those who deviated. So he restricted them into certain areas and keeps them there, and just control them. Don't kill them, but just keep them, let them live, because if they're very aggressive, he kills them, of course, but sometimes he uses his power, but mostly he keeps them in certain areas and just controls them. And that's what Parikshit did with Kaliraj. Kaliraj, king of this age, Kali. So he subdued him, and when he surrendered, he said, okay, you can stay. I allow you to stay in certain place, but if you go somewhere, I'll kill you. So Parikshit was so powerful. He could kill this Kali. Kali means great asura who controls this age. He is a demigod of sin, let's say. It's a very powerful. He's a universal person. He's not like kind of prime minister of small, big, even big country. So Parikshit subdued him. And he said, okay, you stay there in 4 places where there is sinful activities are going on. Chaturvidhi Papa, Djutam, Panam, Sunam, Striyam, illicit sex, meat-eating, gambling, and intoxication. You can stay there, but if you go, I'll kill you. You should not go anywhere else. Stay there. This is your place. Yeah, this is Kshatriya, you see. It's not like these bloody wars for crusaders. They're killing everyone, converted to Christian religion. All others they consider to be like unbelievers. unbelievers or whoever, I don't know. Yeah, you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll give you more points.
So the dharma that Krishna wanted to establish must be the highest, because he is willing to take it by violence. Krishna himself.
By violence, yeah.
Yes,
Because those
so he's
people,
declaring the dharma he wants is the highest.
yeah, and even by violence, and this is violence is religious. You know, sometimes you use a knife to cut some, like Prabhupada said, cancer, some unwanted things. And this is a benefit for you because you're gonna get rid of this kind of disease condition, like part of your flesh, whatever, which is affected by cancer. So you have to carry it off, right? How? By violence. You cannot get rid of it, just nourish it and just, like cherish it. You can't get rid of it. So you have to carry it off. And in the same way Krishna said, kill them. That's, how you call him? Them. Yeah, that's demoniac, so they have to be killed, they have to be annihilated. Yeah. You see, in this country, police has a force to protect other citizens, to use violence, use weapons to enforce law. You need violence, right? Otherwise, people they don't take it seriously. Right? You need some danda. Danda means stick. Argumentum and baculum means argument of danda, of stick. You have to show your power. You have power. Okay, then some of the people they don't understand. If you tell them, no, they don't understand. They don't take you seriously. Then you show stick. Like, monkey in Vrindavan, if you go to Vrindavan, you see monkeys are stealing things, glasses, fruits and everything, even smartphones. As soon as you show stick, immediately, monkey, surrender, immediately give up and just walk away. Argumentum et baculum, very strong,
Also, if we go back to the first question about controlling our senses,
Yeah.
I want to know, what is our chances of success of controlling our senses and becoming Krishna conscious? If I use a very extreme example, even the head of a Sampradaya Brahma, he ran after his own daughter.
Mm.
So if he can't do it, what chance do we have a good chance of succeeding here at this game?
And then Brahma took a birth like a Haridas Thakur, you remember? And he was able to resist the influence of Maya personified when Maya came like a prostitute in his Bhajan Kutir.
So what's the difference then? Why is Brahma couldn't resist, and
Because-
why is Haridas Thakur couldn't resist?
Yeah, because Brahma was not surrendered at that time fully to Krishna. But when he took up fully and surrendered to Krishna by chanting 300,000 names of God every day, he was fully surrendered. He took a low birth in Muslim family, he just was completely surrendered. And then Maya personified came. Maya, most beautiful, Miss Universe, Miss Material Energy. Maya personified came. That's what written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he was able to control senses, He said, okay, you wait. 3 days she was waiting. Then she surrendered. She surrendered to him. And she said, I want to take initiation from you. I took initiation from my husband, Lord Shiva, by chanting Ram, 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 name of Ram. And now I want to take initiation into Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Haridas initiated her. This is true story. So she became a disciple. Maya personified entire material energy, which is, in her personified form, is the most beautiful woman.
So the secret is that Haridas Thakur was
Secret
surrendered.
is full surrender, beauty, bhakti.
And Brahma wasn't full surrender.
Brahma was not. That's why he offended Krishna a couple of times, like he stole cows and friends. It was a subtle offense. And then Brahma, he realized, I have to surrender to Krishna. He took a birth like a Haridas. He took a birth in lower family in Muslim uncivilized. So, and then he played a role of Bhakta, who is fully surrendered. And Lord Chaitanya, he himself, he arranged his funeral ceremony. Lord Chaitanya, he's a Krishna, he's a God. He was collecting things and arranged everything, all feast, and he buried his body into the tomb on the beach of Jagannath Puri. He arranged everything by himself. He was dancing with his body. You see, wow, how he appreciated his devotees. And yeah, so he resist Maya herself. What could be more higher and more powerful test? You see, he overcome Maya. That means devotees has same power like Krishna, because Krishna can empowered by his power anyone, whoever surrenders to him. So this Haridas. Yeah, you see, bhakti is that's a good exhibition of power of bhakti and beauty of bhakti, and this is the only process how we can overcome Maya. Otherwise, like you said, Brahma fall down. Who else? Vishwamitra fell down. Saubhari Muni fell. All these different yogis. Indra fell down. Shiva also. Everyone. Maya is unresistible. Maya is a Daivi Shakti. It is the Shakti of the Lord. So everyone, all the great sages, but devotees, Haridas, Markandeya Rishi, Naranarayana, never fell. Because they're devotees, they're completely surrendered. They have bhakti. So if you, it's not easy, but Lord Chaitanya's mercy. We have Lord Chaitanya's mercy. We follow the Sankirtan movement. We are under the protection of Lord Chaitanya. If you do service to Sankirtan mission, like changing holy name and spreading the Krishna consciousness, you're always under the protection. You never fall. You never fall. Lord Chaitanya controls everything.
I think rather than looking at the destination, it's just a journey. It's a journey, a constant journey where the more you learn, the more blissful must you feel. To a certain extent, the absolute is very high. The journey allows you to every time pick up more blissfulness, more love. But it's not like you're looking at that we're going to all fall.
The thing is, we can't speculate. You see, if you follow something like Haridas Thakur, or you follow Bhishma or somebody, Marjans or a great devotee, then you're not speculating.
No, it's not speculation, but I'm just saying
what to do.
You're saying that.
Because when you say you follow a journey, that sounds like you're speculating and finding your way through it.
No, your question was can we all succeed? Because there's so many people who have not succeeded.
Who are greater.
Yeah, who are greater than us, right? So I'm saying if there's a success in every step, in everything we do. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Rather than
Take it step by step.
yeah. And eventually, I don't know, that's maybe how I see it. Is the
It's not a matter of fall or not fall. It's a matter of surrender to Krishna. And if Krishna wants us to fall, we fall. Then we get up and just carry on again. It's not a matter of fall or not fall. For yogis it's very kind of essential, but for us, we rely on mercy. And many instances of that when devotees under the mercy of Krishna, they very brave and they just do amazing things. Even now, in Kali Yuga, in the worst time, so I know with ISKCON devotees they did a lot of amazing things because of mercy, empowerment, and devotion. They did a lot of things. if you look at our history, ISKCON history, many Prabhupada disciples, they're preaching for 50 years and more in the middle of sense gratification, feast of, I don't know, in the middle, in the center of this festival of sense gratification in the Western world. They're preaching for 15 more years. And they're just in close connection with all the senses, all objects of the senses. And they never fell. Some of them, yeah, but some of them very strong, you see, they can carry on. And there is no fall. These are examples of that. It works. So they're protected. They're doing nice things. And if you don't, I mean, there are some conditions that you shouldn't offend, you should follow, you should be strict and so on and so on. But if you do all these things, it's guaranteed. You're going to carry on. And we have wonderful examples of it. Yeah? It's not like, it's not like it was one time with Ajamil. He was just met some prostitutes. It was like a little flash of sense gratification. He just fell because it was a Vedic culture. It wasn't that at all. But now you're going to Harinam. You see all these women around. You see all this kind of, apotheosis of deviations. You see it around. And we still carry on, you see. We just, if we surrender, if we humble, if we protect it. Right? Yeah, no problem. If we're careful, we protect it. Are you agree? So I think there is no problem. We can continue with that, and this process is very beautiful. And this is guaranteed that we, on the path of bhakti, will control our senses and attain higher destination according to our teaching. Are you convinced? Or? Okay, so thank you so much. We'll stop here. Thank you, Hare Krishna.